the CFR compliance is obviously key, and ensure that they're all 21 CFR conformant. The usability of the software in terms of just visually having it be very simple, not a whole lot of options on the running side, at least for analysts. Having really extended permissions that are really characterizable, so an analyst role versus like a developer role, and being able to really customize what that looks like is really important, so that you're able to really build up in the background and have all that the power of the LCMS, I guess, on the development side, but not have that burden after on the analyst. So really being able to customize those roles. We also look for, if a software upgrade is coming out or patches are being added, any time the vendor can supply information on what's changing in terms of like even a comparability between that and the previous system is really critical, really helpful for us to try to keep things, up to date and modern, because just upversioning software once your system is qualified within our system is really tedious. It takes a lot of time.
So in terms of data integrity, your software must be perfect. You need to have all the traceability you need in order to use it in a QC environment. So that's the first thing. And today, not all the software on the market are able to be implemented in a QC environment due to this reason and to the lack of data integrity sometimes. That's the first thing. And then the software, if you want this method to be run by non-MS experts, you need to have a software that is able to do the processing, maybe not automatically, but as automatically as possible, with a minimum amount of manual integration, manual intervention into the data processing steps. So it's really critical to choose wisely the software solution that will be used for MAM method if you want to use it in a QC environment, both for the reliability of the data you generate, for the acceptance by the authorities, and also to make sure that the human intervention won't affect the results you generate. So it should be as automatic as possible. If we develop a method, we have to be sure that the raw data can still be accessible within in the next 20 years. It's something that is not easy. Some suppliers do not provide support for 20 years. That cannot guarantee that we can use the software and access the data for the next 20 years, for example. So it's really something that we have to discuss with the vendor before buying a system, to make sure that we will have a long-term support for the equipment, but also for the software in order to be able to access the data.
I think with whatever discussion we have had is the having more user privileges defined, ability to do some level of manual data analysis or integration. That is what is needed. How you can seamlessly transfer the methods from R&D to QC without having to worry about the changes what are there. So from non-regulated to regulated environment, how you can quickly transfer the methods. Then having because you are acquiring a lot of data there. Some people are using the MSMS level of data as well, which adds up to the file size. So then ability to characterize the data, maybe a server-based kind of a thing, not really worry about the hard disk space getting used up. So some of these things, and obviously NPD, like how you can rely on the software for data analysis, like how reliable the automated data analysis is. So I think these are some of the questions which we have been having discussions in. There is a long list, I would say. Still a lot needs to be done.
I think, we're making progress in the informatics space. Automated data analysis will be key. I think I heard Anu mention this, but I think, it depends on where in the life cycle. I can tell you that regulators don't, CFR compliant data analysis is much different than research and development type of data analysis. It's something I've dealt with a lot in my life and how things can be locked down. So, the more locked down, the better from the regulatory perspectives. I mean, even outside of MAM as a mass spectrometrist, I'm also a protein crystallographer, and we have the protein data bank, and we can look at people's structures, and it's pretty agnostic to software, more or less, or at least it's software that everybody sort of has access to. And I'd love to see something in the mass spec space in general, but I think importantly as we transition to MAM and sort of this software agnostic analysis, it's never gonna happen. But it's a dream of mine.